Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the time is finally here. Welcome to our Eagles on the Clock, brought to you by live stream, powered by PointsBet. Now, it's been interesting. The Eagles move up from 15 to 13, and they trade pick number 15, 124, 162, and 166 to move up to 13. Now, where do you think they're going to go, Ray? I mean, is there a possibility that we go out and get the young safety from Notre Dame, or where do you think they're moving up this far in the draft to get?
Well, they dealt with Houston. Houston is the pick that they went in and got to exchange three picks. To me, I think it's one of two guys. I think it's either Jermaine Johnson or Kyle Hamilton. I think it's one or the other. Frankly, I'm very surprised that Johnson's lasted this long, Barrett.
I am too.
I thought he was going to be a top 10. And to me, that's I'm good with either one of them. If they pick somebody else, I might not be so good with it. But if it's either Johnson or Hamilton, I'm good with that. They obviously wanted to jump up ahead of Baltimore because the Ravens are sitting there at 14. So they probably had a feeling that they had a sense of where Baltimore was going to go. And this is very similar to last year when they felt like they had to jump up ahead of the Giants to get Devontae Smith. I think that this was the same kind of thing, that they felt like Baltimore was sitting there and was going to take the guy that they wanted. So they had to get up ahead of Baltimore, and they did that. I'm guessing it's either Jermaine Johnson or Kyle Hamilton.
Well, at this point, Kyle Hamilton, he's a safety, and we know the Eagles don't usually do that. You look at Jermaine Johnson, he has all the intangibles the Eagles need, especially at the rush-in position. I mean, he has perfect size. He's 6'5", probably 265 pounds, 260 pounds, ran a 4.5 40. I mean, he brings everything to the table that they want anyways in a pass rusher. So I can see, them going up and jumping up and getting a guy like Johnson. I think that is the most probable pick for the Eagles, going forward. Now, does this put any, does it put anything in perspective as far as, you've seen who's off the clock already, who's off the table already for the Eagles. But then when you look at what else is available for that 18 pick, is there a possibility they might trade down, trade up, or just stay at that number 18 pick?
All along, I was thinking that they were going to trade down out of 18 because you have a lot of teams that are trying to get into the first round now. So the opportunity will be there. And also, Howie has now traded away 3 picks to get this 1 pick. So I think that he'll be feeling that if he trades down to 18, he can begin to getting some of those picks back. And he likes to have a lot of picks. But
it kind of looks like the report is kind of like that they're going to get defensive tackle Jordan Davis. So that's kind of different from even what I was thinking and you were thinking as far as the safety and the defensive end. They're going interior. I mean, you look at it, you got 2 aging guys, that are kind of long in the tooth at the defensive tackle position. But, I mean, the pick is in. We'll see what they're going to pick now.
Yeah, I thought all along that Jordan Davis, to me, looked like a Raven kind of player. The Ravens always like to have those big, oversized guys inside.
Like Nada.
Like Nada, or like Tony Saragusa.
Yes.
Their defensive line is built to keep people off their linebackers, and they want their linebackers to be able to run free to the ball. Well, Davis is that kind of guy. So if maybe the strategy here was to get ahead of the Ravens, maybe if they're anticipating, maybe they're looking at Davis as the guy that the Ravens are targeting. So maybe that means the Eagles are targeting Davis. That's a possibility. I'm still leaning towards Johnson or Hamilton because, Barrett, to me, both of those guys are tremendous value at this point. I mean, the fact that you're talking about those guys at 13, I mean, I thought both of them were worth top 10 picks. And I think the Eagles got a little lucky that they're now both available to them here. And, they need a safety, Barrett. They only have one safety. They got to go get another safety. And Johnson, as good as Johnson is, they've got a pass rusher and Hassan Reddick.
Yep.
They've got Sweat coming off a Pro Bowl season. They got Brandon Graham coming back. They got some numbers as pass rushers. They have a crying need as a safety position. So I guess if you look at it that way, but I think the Eagles are in a good spot here. Either of those guys, to me, you can't go wrong. I think you can't go wrong with either Johnson or Hamilton here.
Well, it looks like, from Albert Breer, he's sent some stuff out saying that the Eagles are going to go with Jordan Davis. I didn't think that they would even have to go in and pick, but like you said, the Ravens like those type of guys. But I think he's more suited to what their defense is a two gapper. He'll be a great two gapper. Somebody's going to clog up the middle, and you only use those type of guys when you have boss linebackers that make a lot of plays. That's not necessarily the way this defense has been for the past couple of years. They usually have guys that go up and get up the field and cause more havoc up front, as opposed to having guys two gap. This may be different from the defensive coordinator they had with Gannon. Gannon wanted more of a two-gapping style, kind of why Fletcher Cox didn't really, get along with it. So, I mean, at this point, I'm anxious to see who they pick. They're saying it's Davis. We'll see if it is Davis. I'm looking forward to just seeing them go to the defensive side of the ball and really solidifying some stuff in that defense, whether it be safety, defensive line, defensive end, so we're going to see. I think it is going to be defensive tackle Jordan Davis.
Well, if it is Davis, then that raises the question of now are they so quick to trade out of 18?
Yeah, they might have to stay there.
Maybe you stay there at 18 and you hope that either Johnson or Hamilton falls to you at 18. And if you could come out of this, I really didn't expect them to use both first-round picks, but maybe they get Davis here and they can find a way to hold on to the 18th pick and get one of those other two guys. If they come out of the first round here with Davis and either Hamilton or Johnson, you'd have to say they had a pretty good night.
Oh, they had a great night. In fact, it might save Howie's job because, just looking at those guys, those are impact players, guys that'll play for a long time with the Eagles, be mainstays, cornerstones in the defense. So we're almost there. I mean, why does it take so long for our pick? Everybody else picked theirs real fast. It's taken a month of Sundays for us to get our pick, So we're still waiting. And maybe, of course, we kind of know it's going to be Jordan Davis. But let's make it official. Let's see what the commission says.
Well, I think we all know that Fletcher Cox is just a one-year proposition now.
Right, right.
You got Hargrave is going to be here a bit. They like Milton Williams as a young player who's developing, but maybe Davis comes in and he becomes the new Fletcher Cox. Maybe he comes in. The one thing is he's going to shore up your run defense. I mean, he's going to make you stout on the inside, and the tandem of he and Hargrave inside is going to put a lot of pressure on the interior other teams' offensive lines.
Well, we're still waiting. Like I said, it's non-official but Albert Breer did say that they're going to pick up Jordan Davis. We're still waiting on the commissioner. He's still waiting for the pick. We'll see. But I mean, to be honest, Ray, I would not be mad with a Jordan Davis. A guy that's 6'6", runs a 4.7 40, 340 pounds. I mean, that's moving. But they're gonna have to watch, just like you said earlier in our show today, up on the clock. They're gonna have to watch his weight. He's gonna have to make sure he comes in optimum shape. But we'll see. Here he is now, the commissioner. This is exciting, man. This is what I live for, man. The draft, man. All the film I've watched.
Jordan Davis.
There we go.
This makes it makes sense because I really think the Eagles felt if they really like Davis, I guarantee you he was going to go to Baltimore at 14.
Oh, no question.
That the Ravens were going to take him. And this is exactly like last year when they knew the Giants were going to take Devontae Smith and they had to make the move. If that's the player you want, you got to get ahead of them. And they did it again this year, knowing the Ravens were going to take Davis, so they had to beat the Ravens to the punch. And now they got Jordan Davis for the middle of that defensive line. And now let's see. Let's see if they hold on to 18 and try and come away with either Johnson or Hamilton.
This makes it very interesting. You have a guy that's going to be in the middle of that defense for a long time, a run stopper, a guy that's really going to impose his will. You're not going to be able to run on him. I know that for sure. But does it just put him in a position where he's going to be a two-down guy, meaning a first and second down guy? Those are usually run downs. With the way offenses are running these days, they run a lot of 11 personnel. With 11 personnel, you usually put your NASCAR type of defense. And when you have defensive ends rushing from every position and those faster guys on the outside, he's not necessarily the fastest guy. He's so big. Can he generate a pass rush consistently? Can he play on third down like Fletcher Cox can. You know, I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, I'm gonna tell you this. I like the pick. Jordan Davis is somebody who can go in and be a very, very good player for this team. If he can come in, keep his weight down, focus, learn some pass rushing moves, and be able to turn it on when it needs to be on, you know. So it's a good pick by him. I like the pick. As we go forward, we got a game changer, man. We definitely got a game changer.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do too. And you know, I think that he's a guy that, you know, this team needed to they needed to get bigger, stronger up front. They just
Yes.
frankly did.
And younger.
And he gives you that. And I think that the idea of he's not a totally stationary player. I mean, he's a big man, but he moves it up and down the line of scrimmage. I mean, he can make plays down the line of scrimmage. He can get plays in pursuit way more than a guy his size really should. And he gives you some scheme flexibility because he can play some 3 technique. He also can play 0 technique right over top of the center.
Yep.
If Gannon decides he wants to go to some 3-man look, you know, and set up a 3-4 with Hassan Reddick on the outside, you can do that because he is a true nose. So he gives you a little more flexibility in how you would play your defensive line. You know, he's a good player. He played on the best college defense in football. He's the Bednarik Award winner as the top college player in college football. And I think he's a guy who's going to be a big fan favorite here in Philadelphia, and I think he's going to help this team. Now let's see what they do at 18.
Absolutely. All right, Ray. That does it for now. We'll be back right here for the number 18 pick if they have a number 18 pick, and it's brought to you by PointsBet.